Hey everyone, it is Sunday, August 14th. The time is 12:45 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 24 degrees Celsius. And there's a look at Christie Station. All right, that's interesting. Not sure what they're arguing about. And just on my right here is Christie Pits. And for this one, I'm just going to go for a walk along Bloor Street here, and I'll pass through Koreatown, and then that'll take me into the Annex neighborhood. And I'm thinking while I'm in the Annex, I'll check out some residential side streets. I'm not quite sure where I'll finish up at this point. This is my first time out going for a walk in the city in over 2 weeks. And getting here was a bit of an ordeal, as once again the city was running shuttle buses between Lawrence and Eglinton, or rather St. Clair Station on Line 1. I was really hoping to avoid taking a shuttle bus. And then they were running shuttle buses on Line 2 all morning, and it said on the TTC website that subway service would resume at noon between St. George and Broadview Station, but I arrived at Bloor Yonge Station well afternoon, and guess what? They were still running shuttle buses. I decided to stick to the original plan anyway, so I got on board and I made my way over to Christie Station. So this is east on Bloor Street West, walking through a neighborhood where I used to live, known as Koreatown. This is one of my favorite parts of the city. There is Bukchangdong Soon Tofu. And this used to be Tacos El Asador. They relocated across the street. And a look back to the west. In the 50s and 60s, this area was known as Little Hungary. There's a large Hungarian-Canadian population in this area, as well as Harbour Village to the south. The area just to the north of here is known as Seaton Village. There's a large Korean supermarket, PAT. But in the 70s, there was a large influx of Korean immigrants into the city. And that's when this enclave was established. In fact, I think Toronto has by far the largest Korean-Canadian population in the country. And it's a very popular destination for Koreans to come study English. So I'm hoping by the time I get to St. George that subway service has resumed. Although I'm feeling a lot better, and I think my voice sounding a bit less hoarse than before. It is getting kind of hard to deny this fatigue that has overcome me. Not sure if I have more than one video in me today. That's all I was planning on. And this used to be a KFC and Taco Bell, and it looks like Mary Brown's is moving in. That's an East Coast-based fried chicken chain. And it is not one I'm particularly fond of. Someone's a Queen fan across the street. So I'm thinking I'll continue along Bloor Street, and maybe at Madison Avenue I'll turn up and we'll check out some of the residential areas in the Annex. Here is Palmerston Avenue. Koreatown sits between Christie, where I started, to the west of here, and Bathurst Street to the east. Then beyond that, I'll be in downtown and in the Annex neighborhood. There's where Honest Ed's used to be. That's turning into a mostly rental building development. And unfortunately, newer rentals are not rent control protected. I've heard that the prices in here will be rather astronomical, comparable to renting a new condo. But at least you'll have the benefit of a professional management on site versus just some random amateur landlord. You're also less likely to be evicted for something like a family member moving in. And here's Bathurst Street coming up. I've always thought this store was kind of funny. It's called Price War. It's kind of a discount retailer that I think was set up to compete with Honest Ed's, which was a very large discount retailer that was just on that corner there. And we are at Bathurst Street. Curious if the shuttle buses are still running. We'll find out when we get to St. George.
God bless you. Oh yeah, take it easy. God bless you.
I think they just randomly ran into a friend. Here's Popper's Pub. I'll be walking by the Madison pretty soon. And they have a common ownership. And here's some good news. A cafe popped up on this corner where Starbucks used to be. Nadege. There used to be a cafe on this corner, a Second Cup on that corner, and behind me that's now a Value Buds used to be a very popular aroma cafe that was always busy. And during the pandemic, all of those locations disappeared. Well, I think the Second Cup might have closed down just before it. There's a Sushi on Bloor, or the Sushi on Bloor, although they used to be located just to the east of here in a 2-floor location. This area has been okay. This area has been well known for its affordable sushi shops over the years. And Sweet Pete's, they had a cargo right through the front of that store about a month ago. There's the Victory Cafe.
So the next time you do it, it shows all of your like history and your progress.
Hopefully that's not going to queue up to be a shuttle bus. There's the Future Bistro. Well, it says Line 2 eastbound shuttle bus on it. And the service advisor on the TTC site said the subway would resume by 12 p.m. This is a popular Asian street food market. There's been big lineups every time I've walked through there, so I guess, or by there, I guess. Sunday afternoon is a good time to go there if you're not a fan of the crowds. And this is Walmer Road. There's an entrance to Spadina Station just right there. And the next street coming up is Spadina. That's roughly the halfway point of the annex, which spans between Bathurst and Avenue Road. And this would be the southern border of it, and to the north it is bordered by DuPont Street, roughly. There's a city sightseeing bus. It is turning right, so my guess is it's heading up to Casa Loma. Which is to the north of here. Y'all could have saved a lot of money by just staying at home and watching my channel. Of course, I don't think they would have learned anything. And here is Madison Avenue. So I'll head north for at least a block here. I'd say we're going to see one of the quieter sides of the annex, but Bloor Street itself was rather quiet. And that is a student residence for the University of Toronto. I don't know what's going in over there, but it's blowing a lot of dust into my face. There's a lot of dirt being kicked up from that site. There is the Madison pub, the famous Madison pub. It's definitely more of a college-age pub. And it's a few of these older annex-style homes kind of daisy-chained together. First few times there can be rather confusing. And it's connected to the Madison Manor Boutique Hotel. I don't know anyone who's stayed there. And that looks like a frat house. In fact, I think a lot of these buildings have doubled as frat houses in various movies over the years. And there's a style of home in Toronto known as the Annex style house. That was popular in the late 19th century. I think it was actually popularized by E.J. Lennox, the same guy who designed Casa Loma just to the north of here, and a number of other notable buildings throughout the city. And a lot of these houses feature rounded archways and exaggerated rooftops. going to go along Lowther here. And this would be Huron Street coming up. And this is a street that changes direction several times, but it spans from just north of DuPont, and it goes all the way south, almost down to Queen Street. And I think this next street will be St. George. That's where we'll find the most western entrance to St. George Station. That's where I had to get off the train, or off the shuttle bus and onto the train. Let's go see if they're still running shuttle buses on line 2. It's now over an hour after they said that would have wrapped up. There's a lot of these rather distinct 60s looking apartment buildings in this area. And due to the proximity to the University of Toronto, the rent is quite high on most of them. So it says bachelors and 1 bedrooms available. And it looks like there's still shuttle buses dropping people off. And this street here is Prince Arthur Avenue. And the Yorkville neighborhood is off in that direction. All these people would be transferring to either line 1 or westbound line 2. And it's back to Bloor Street West. I recorded a video about 2.5 weeks ago, and I went along the south side of Bloor Street there. I think I called that one the Royal Ontario Museum to Art Gallery Walk. And on the left, I talked about this building, the York Club. It's a rather exclusive private social club you can't really get much of a look into. And that's been operating since 1909. And the next street coming up is Bedford. So where do you board those shuttle buses? Maybe they finally wrapped up? Well, I'm just going to continue on over to Avenue Road, I think. It's possible those were just the last of the shuttle buses we saw rolling by. Hello? I think she saw the camera. It started screaming, hello, hello, hello. We've got street parking with a sort of protected bike lane right next to it, although you always got to be careful when you're riding your bike through here, because people often step out of their car and walk right into the bike lane.
Then we get into the county.
I see that guy all the time here.
This guy's living in his own world, bro.
I think he summed it up. He's always looking jovial. It seems harmless. Good for him. There is the Royal Ontario Museum just on the right.
Oh yeah, and also my apartment is freezing.
So here is Avenue Road. Yeah, I'm guessing. They finally reopened line 2, so I think I'm gonna grab a cold drink and just take a break and decide if I want to record a second video or not. Feel a little bit better than I thought I would. But it's been so long, I wanted to get out this weekend and record a video or two, so hope you enjoyed this one. Walking through Koreatown and The Annex. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support the channel, there are links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides. And there's a super thanks button appearing below these videos. All right, thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.